This wedding was an assignment for my Religion 2 class in Catholic.
This One's Wife. Schoolchildren and Skimpy Clothes. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. This One's Wife likes to think of herself as a fashion icon, a woman who knows what to wear and what looks good on her. She also holds herself out as a kind, empathic mother. Therefore, you would think, if you knew different to what she is, that she would then have an understanding of how she can conduct herself with regard to what she wears when she's around children. As many of you are aware, when this one's wife went to Nigeria earlier this year, she attended a school, and there was much commentary about the fact that this one's wife attended on this school wearing an outfit which was deemed inappropriate. Not only was it inappropriate for the country that she was in, a largely conservative country where many women cover up their shoulders, cover up their arms, do not show off a lot of flesh, their cleavage, but furthermore, most people would think if you're going to be in and around children who are impressionable, you need to wear something appropriate. After all, you don't see bikini-wearing teachers. Nevertheless, as the pictures that float across your screen demonstrate, this one's wife simply attended wearing clothing which showed off plenty of flesh, both flying in the face of the values of the country that she was visiting, and furthermore, in relation to impressionable children. You might think, well, she made a mistake. It's a one-off. She should be given the benefit of the doubt. That doesn't wash. This is a woman who's in her 40s. This is a woman who is a mother. And therefore, it would be entirely appropriate to expect her to wear clothing that was suitable to the occasion when being around children. After all, it wasn't as if the children were a surprise to her. She knew she was going to a school. The fact is that her narcissism wants her to dress in a way which she believes is both stylish and provocative. She wants to wear clothing which elicits a response, because of course, when she's around people, she needs to get a response from them because she needs to receive fuel. A lack of response is a problem for this one's wife. It wounds her. It essentially signals to her that she doesn't matter, that she is unimportant. The needs and concerns of other people are entirely secondary to the needs and demands of this one's wife. Accordingly, the fact that it would be inappropriate to wear skimpy clothing around schoolchildren is irrelevant to this one's wife. She simply wouldn't think about it. It is not the case that she would put on the clothing and think to herself, well, that'll have all eyes on me, including the school children, but rather her narcissism would compel her to believe that she looked fantastic in what she was wearing. Once again, the distortion field that surrounds her results in her being unable to recognize the inappropriateness of what she's wearing. This may sound extraordinary to many of you. You would think that surely she must know, surely she must recognize, but she doesn't. She believes that what she wears is appropriate because her narcissism tells her that it's appropriate. She wears that because it enables her to draw a reaction, because the reaction is fundamental to her existence by way of the provision of fuel. The fact that people respond to what she wears demonstrates largely that they are under control, and once again subconsciously that is what she's driving at. Thus she appeared in Nigeria, and there she was, in her skimpy clothing. Now she is in Colombia. Once again, she has attended a school, and once again she has worn inappropriate clothing. As you can see from the picture, the young pupil looking up at her as she strides past, showing off her shoulders, her back, wearing a dress which is inappropriate for the circumstances of being around children. But it simply does not occur to her. The fact that it has quite a considerable slit in the side of it, showing off her leg, doesn't matter also. It's irrelevant to her because her narcissism simply tells her that she looks beautiful in it, and that's all that matters. All that matters to her is the reaction that she receives. She doesn't care for how this might impact upon impressionable children. She doesn't care about whether anybody would be offended by what she's wearing. She is simply motivated by the need to present herself in a particular way which is commensurate with her somaticism. Thus, why is it that after she faced significant criticism the first time she wore a skimpy outfit when she attended Nigeria, that she has not learned from that? Surely there must be people telling her that she ought not to be wearing that clothing. Surely there must be people explaining to her that it could be found to be offensive. Surely there must be people stating to her, even if you're not concerned about offending your hosts, the world is going to be looking on and is likely to criticise you for it. First of all, it's not necessarily guaranteed that there is anybody actually advising her in that regard. It may well be that this one's wife thinks that she's her own stylist or PR advisor in that regard. But given the fact that there are a number of people around her, undoubtedly somebody, even if it's nothing specifically to do with her fashion, will have made a point with regard to the sheer optics in respect of her appearance, that they would have pointed out to her, I don't really think that what you're wearing is appropriate for visiting a school. I don't think many people will approve of it. It'll affect the optics. They would try and couch it in a way which would matter to this one's wife. After all, the reaction of other people does matter to her in the extent of wanting to be popular and wanting to be praised. Nevertheless, this one's wife always knows best, and therefore, if somebody has advised her as such, their pleas, their explanations will have fallen on deaf ears. Remember, she knows best. She believes, because the distortion field that is her narcissism makes her believe that she looks beautiful. And because she believes that she is stunning, heart attack beautiful, that's what must prevail. The shock of the schoolchildren, the moral fibre of the schoolchildren, irrelevant. The response of the world by way of criticism, they can go hang in the wind. They're just haters. They would pick on her no matter what she wore. Thus, her narcissism deems that she should wear such clothing because it will provoke a reaction by virtue of hailing her beauty, that she wants to show people her very slim figure because she believes that she is so attractive. Leaving aside the fact that she has broad shoulders, no discernible waist, and her bosom seems to have disappeared, the fact that she flaunts those chicken legs, there's much to criticise in relation to her appearance, and you would think, ordinarily, that she would dress appropriately. But it doesn't happen. This is because there is a stuck record in the head of this one's wife, which is saying, you are beautiful, you are stunning, you are mesmeric. Every man wants to have you. And thus she dresses in accordance with that worldview. And it doesn't matter were she going to a nunnery or whether she's attending upon children. What matters to her is the appearance that is commensurate with her worldview of being this stunningly beautiful woman. That's what the world must see. That's what the world must be treated to. And thus she dresses in that way because she believes that it showcases her beauty to the most effective degree. Many people will disagree with that, stating that it doesn't, that she's not that beautiful and the clothes that she wears aren't that impressive. But that's irrelevant when it comes to what this one's wife thinks. Her narcissism tells her that she's beautiful and she must showcase that beauty, and it doesn't matter whether she's visiting a school. She is the star of the show, and nobody else matters. Thus, she doesn't learn from what happened in Nigeria. She won't learn from how she's behaved in Colombia. She will continue to wear inappropriate clothing with regard to the circumstances, because it's all about her. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.